presented by Charvette Mitchell. Find out more about her at charvettemitchell.com and connect with Charvette on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Grab a pen, notebook, or tablet and get ready. Here is Charvette.
Y'all, hey. So, should I have a personal brand or should I have a business brand? Do they work together? Does the personal brand work with the business brand? What should I focus on first? What's the difference? Listen, we're going to get into it today and talk all about that right here in this weekly training. Hi, I'm Charvette Mitchell, CEO of Mitchell Productions, and we are a marketing and professional development firm. We work with women entrepreneurs primarily, and a few lucky men get sprinkled in, all around raising the visibility of their products and services by helping them tell the story of their business through marketing, visibility, and branding. And today's question is a topic that comes up often around, am I promoting a personal brand or am I promoting my business? And I want to have a conversation about that. So welcome on in. And what I'm going to do is just pull this up on my phone because sometimes it's easier to see comments on my phone. So welcome to all of those that are catching this live, and you may be catching it in the replay or in the recording. No problem at all. We invite you to comment. We will pop up. Periodically we'll pop up some comments on the screen. All right, so let's jump right on in and have this discussion. And I'm wondering if anyone in that's watching or listening has kind of thought about like the personal brand versus the business brand. Like, what's the difference? Why do they matter? What do I focus on? So let me just say this. Literally everyone has a personal brand. Might be a spoiler alert. If you are an employee in anyone's company, you have a personal brand. If you are a business owner, entrepreneur, consultant, speaker, any of those things, author, you have a personal brand. So literally everyone has a personal brand. So let's just be like kind of really crystal clear on that. And when you work in a corporation, let's just say you're an employee in a corporation, you might not have thought about it that way, but your personal brand absolutely comes to play around review time, mid-year review, end-of-year reviews, conversations and expectations with your manager, your supervisor. If you're going up for promotions or lateral moves, guess what? Your personal brand is in play. But certainly we are focusing our conversation on business owners. But I'm going to tell you, others of you might be able to get some out of this. But we're going to focus our conversation around personal brand versus business brand. Hey, Dr. Vicky, glad to see you. Hey, April, glad to see you. Hey, Madeline, thanks for coming on in. So what should I focus on? And in particular, we're going to color this more for those of you that offer services because this really comes up a lot, maybe versus those that offer product. But I think you're going to see in this day and age, if you are a product-based business or a service-based business, both of these are going to be beneficial. So let's jump right on in. So first, what is a personal brand? And the way you want to think about it is that your personal brand is who you are. That's who you are. That is your reputation, in these internet streets. But guess what? And outside and in real life. So all of them go together. It is your story. It's your brand story. Oftentimes people will say it is your presence. Now, some of this, there might be some perception in there, but guess what? Perception for a lot of people is reality. So, in essence, the personal brand is you. And so that's what we're focusing on. And guess what? People buy from people that they feel like they know, like, and trust. And so that's why personal branding has been hugely and largely important in the small business world and certainly with entrepreneurs. And the personal brand is really around the emotional connection. And how many know sales? There's emotion, right? In sales, there's emotion oftentimes when people are in particular buying services. And those of you that offer professional services. So the personal brand, to just clarify, it is based on you, your reputation, your story, your presence, online and offline. And I posted the other day, like they should not contradict each other, right? They should flow. So then you might say, okay, if that's the personal brand, what is the business brand? So the business brand is what you offer, and how I'd like to think about it. And I think it's a great way to think about when we think about the brand of your business. So for me, personal brand is Charvette Mitchell, right? My business is Mitchell Productions. So your business brand is the container that holds all of your offers, your services, and it helps kind of communicate the value of what you are offering. Thank you for the hearts. I see the hearts that are coming in. So the business brand, again, think of it as a container. So Mitchell Productions is the container that holds the Platform Builder program, our 12-month program that is offered out of Mitchell Productions, right? The Platform Builder Summit, the VIP experience, our ninth one is coming up in November. I want to see you there. Look down below. There is a pinned post open for women entrepreneurs. And if you're looking at interested in your marketing, your visibility, and business development, you absolutely need to be in the room. But the Platform Builder Summit VIP experience is contained under Mitchell Productions. The Charvette Mitchell radio show is under Mitchell Productions. Our book collaborations fall under Mitchell Productions. Where we pay taxes is Mitchell Productions. What comes through on the paychecks is Mitchell Productions. So do you get it? So that is the business is really the company identity. And so the name and the logos and your brand colors and all of that, that is really around your overall company identity. So put a one in the chat if that makes sense. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Great, great, great. I'm seeing the ones come through. I'm seeing the ones come through. All right, great. So if we think about it that way, personal brand, the reputation, the emotional connection, your business brand is really the container of these things. Guess what? And then the next question is, do I need one or do I need the other? Guess what? You can have both. Absolutely. Now there are those of you who can operate with just your personal brand, depending on if you're just getting started, if you're just coming out of the gate, you might, be operating just with your personal brand. So let's just say you are an author and you're not doing anything else at this moment. You are a business, but you could be operating just with your personal brand. But you can have both and they should work together. So your personal brand and your business brand, even though they are different, they support each other really like a partner. And a strong personal brand is going to elevate the business brand, and it's going to draw attention to all of the services and the offerings that are contained under the company that you have, under your business that you have. So this question comes about then, okay, well, what am I focusing on first? Thank you, Maxine. I see you. Hey, Sharon, thanks for popping on in. What am I focusing on now? We see you all coming on in, and we're talking about personal brand versus business brand. And if somebody just hit forward and sent this to you and you're like, I don't even know who this girl is. I'm Charvette Mitchell, CEO of Mitchell Productions, and we're a marketing and professional development firm working with businesses to help them generate more revenue by telling the story of their business through visibility, marketing, and branding strategies. We are the host of the Platform Builder Summit VIP experience. That's happening November 7th and November 8th here in Richmond, Virginia. Get your tickets at platformbuildersummit.com, and there is a pinned post below down there. So welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so the question is, what do I focus on? Personal brand versus business brand. What do I elevate? What do I spend my attention and my time on? Since the personal brand is connected to you, your reputation, and all of that, if you are a service provider, my high recommendation is that you focus on the personal brand first. The personal brand builds trust fastest. It's going to build trust the quickest. And people, even though they may discover you through your business, they're going to want to connect with you if you're offering services. And they do that by connecting with your personal brand. And so, and as a reminder, trust is it shortens the sales cycle. So if someone trusts a business, trusts a company, trusts you, then the cycle for a sale is going to be shortened. And the personal brand builds trust the fastest. So that's why I would recommend that you focus on your personal brand first. and work on that and have those things that you do, your content marketing and all of that. And that's why I actually created the Platform Builder program, our trademark 6-part framework, which is all really based on elevating the personal brand, because that's going to build trust, which is going to shorten your sales cycle. Now, if we think about from a business standpoint, okay, so you're like, okay, Charvette, personal brand, I got it. Where does my business come in? Where do I factor that in? So you think about the business brand when you're thinking about scaling and the scalability of what you're doing. So if you want to, grow beyond just you, and a lot of people that are watching and listening could be that you are the solopreneur. You are you're delivering the services, you're marketing, your customer service, you're all of that. And so depending on where you are in kind of like that early stage, personal brand is where you want to focus, and you're good right there. The next set of you may have like 1 to 5 employees or contractors or support. And so when you're thinking about, okay, I'm going to now be growing beyond that. And then there are those of you who have 20 and on up employees or contractors. Then you want to be thinking about, okay, if I'm bringing on a team or I'm going to be selling even more products or expanding locations, then a business brand is going to be essential. So like I mentioned, Mitchell Productions, that is the company. So when I'm putting in contracts, for instance, corporate contracts, or if you're going in the direction of government contracts or even grants, they're asking like, what's the company? And so because they're going to give that and award that to a company. So you think about the business brand when you're at the point of, or if you want to have foresight to say, I want to be able to scale, and at some point this won't be just about me, or here's the thing, I won't be the only one delivering services or handling the business that gets everything done. Now, there still are brands who are the lead person is at the forefront, right? There are still brands who the personal brand, it's personal brand driven. So if you think about Oprah, let's just think about Oprah. Quite honestly, what she has done, shows, she owns a network, she has collaborations, she has book clubs, she did events, but if you think about Oprah, it's still largely driven off of her personal brand. But certainly she has a plethora of a team that is implementing and helping her to do that. So there are some companies where the personal brand will stay around and stay at the forefront. Then there are other companies where you might not know who is even at the helm. We know like an Amazon is Jeff Bezos. We knew Steve Jobs so we knew some really really big companies who their CEO or the lead stayed at the helm and their personal brand was closely tied. Then there are other companies that we might name like Neiman Marcus. We might not know who the CEO is. We wouldn't know them if we saw their name. So it just depends on what you're offering and where your business will grow. So the business identity, again, and the business brand, you want to think more from a scalability and a growing stage. So again, as a recap, what should I focus on first? If you are a coach, if you are a consultant, if you are a speaker, if you are a service provider, you start with your personal brand visibility. That is your heavy focus because you want to be driving sales and revenue. And oftentimes that's going to be connected to the trust that you are instilling and the transfer of your confidence to gain customers. Then you'll build and focus more on your business brand and business structure. And so this order kind of helps build credibility faster, and this will make it easier, to sell things. If you go out there and just say, "Hey, I want to be a faceless brand," has anyone said that? There are people who are like, "I don't want to be out front. I don't want to be in front of my company. I want to be in the back of my company." Let me tell you a little story. So back in the day, my company, some of you might know this, Mitchell Productions actually started as a web design company. So I started out as a web designer way back in the day. We no longer do it. We no longer offer it. But at one point, I said, "Well, let me just be very neutral with my mission." So when I set up my Mitchell Productions Facebook page, I did not put my picture on. I had all stock photos. So when you looked at the page, you didn't know, you couldn't tell who worked there or what national, if it was a woman or a man, any ethnicity, you didn't know anything. And I said, well, let me take that approach. I'm going to put Mitchell Productions and push that out front if somebody wants to get a website. Guess what? Can anybody guess that I found out that actually didn't work? And here's why that didn't work. For service-based businesses, when someone's coming to you in that example for a website, it is a daunting process. If you've ever put together a website, there's a lot of layers, there's a lot of pieces, there's a lot of communication, a lot of collaboration, and the end product is going to represent that person's organization. So it is, for lack of a better word, an intimate, in the sense of intimate transaction of this person trying to think and pull out of your head the vision that you have and then turn that into something tangible. Guess what? For that type of service, people wanted to know who they were working with. They wanted to know who they were dealing with. And so then I did a 360 and I went the other route. And that's why intentionally you see my picture on everything. It's not from narcissism. It's from brand visibility. So if you see, you're like, oh, that's Charvette Mitchell, yeah, with Mitchell Productions. So I intentionally turned the corner and pushed my personal brand forward, and that helped with that business. It is still, or that service. Let me say it that way. We no longer offer that. That helped to push that business forward versus saying, oh, I'm just going to stay in the background. So I'm just hitting a little nudge to those of you that are saying, I don't want to be out front. I want to be in the background. This is your nudge to say, actually, yeah, you do, especially if you are offering services. Now, I've mentioned products, but I'm going to say definitely small business owners who do have a personal brand tied to their products. They're probably doing better. They're doing better. So I would say you don't want to detach if you say, well, I'm selling whatever jewelry, I'm selling candles, I'm selling whatever. You still want to have a personal brand element in it to help with your marketing and your visibility. So personal branding versus business branding, they work together. The personal brand is all around you, your reputation, your image, your presence. The company is really the container of all of the services that you offer. The personal brand draws attention to the business brand. The business is there for scalability. That's what you pay in taxes with, paying payroll and all of that, paying contractors. They're gonna see your company name on their paid invoices, and that's how you think about it. So hopefully this was a helpful conversation. Let me know down in the chat if you're like, oh, okay, this gave me some clarity. And again, my final comment is that I am a proponent of you focusing on your personal brand initially and for a large run of it if you are offering services, professional services in particular, because people, they want to know, like, and trust you. And that's what is lifted up with your personal brand. So, hey, Ayana, thanks for popping on in. And let me capture this comment over here on my phone. Thank you so much, Sharon. She said to build a strong business presence, have a consistent personal brand. Absolutely. Absolutely. They work together. And so your personal brand, if your personal brand is inconsistent, this might be a sting. There may be a perception that your business is inconsistent because they go together, and that's talking about having boundaries in your business, having turnaround times, responsiveness, communication. All of those things play a role. Thanks, Sharon said this is good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, listen, I'm out of your way here on this day. Thank you so much for being here again. This session is being brought to you by our 9th annual event. It's called the Platform Builder Summit. There is a link somewhere around this video, and it's for women entrepreneurs who women entrepreneurs, small business owners who are looking at focusing on their marketing, their visibility, and business development. Jump over to platformbuildersummit.com. We've been promoting and shouting out our speakers. We're on the second week of announcing speakers. We'll be finished announcing speakers like next Tuesday. So we have some amazing sessions. And so sometimes people might say, well, what is business development, Charvette? We're going to be talking about things that are not only the marketing and the branding piece. We're going to be talking about the money. We're going to be talking about funding. We're going to be talking about grants. We're going to be talking about how you can do business with colleges and universities. Listen, we're going to talk about, we got a therapist mindset. So all of that is melded in to help your personal brand and your business brand. All right, I'm Charvette Mitchell. Thank you so much for being here and for stopping by, and for the hearts and for the love. We'll see you all later on the web.